Hello everyone, I Hiral Popania. Today in this video lecture we are going to discuss about DNA replication. First of all, the DNA, that is the deoxyribonucleic acid, carries the genetic information from generation to generation. It is responsible to preserve the identity of the species over the millions of the years. That means DNA carries the information about the genetic information from various generation to generation. So it is responsible to restore the identity of the species over the millions of the years. DNA that may be regarded as a reserve bank of the genetic information or the memory bank. DNA is more stable than RNA. DNA is more suitable molecule for the long-term repository of the genetic information. So, the most of DNA is useful as a genetic material in the generation and because it is the more stable than the RNA. The biological information which is flow from the DNA to RNA and from there to protein. That means DNA to DNA transfer of the information, biological information, that is the replication. Then this information transfer from DNA to RNA, that is known as the transcription, and from RNA to protein, that is known as the translation. This is the central dogma of the life. DNA is in the cell must be duplicated. Duplication, that means replication, maintained, passed down accurately to the daughter cell. So the biological information which is flow from DNA to RNA and RNA to protein. So this is the main central dogma of the life. Now start with the replication of DNA. DNA is the genetic material. When the cell divides, the daughter cells receive an identical copy of genetic information from its parent cell. That means when the replication of DNA forms, the cell divides and the daughter cell receive the copy of genetic information from its parent cell. The definition of the replication, we can say that it is the process in which DNA copies itself to produce the identical daughter molecules of the DNA with high fidelity. The definition of replication, that the process in which DNA copies itself to produce the daughter molecule of DNA with high loyalty. Fidelity, that means the loyalty. Replication is the semi-conservative process. Why it is known as the semi-conservative? The parent DNA has two strands which is complementary to each other. Both strands undergo the simultaneous replication which produce the two daughter molecules. Each one of the newly synthesized DNA has one half of the parental DNA and one half of the new DNA. The parent DNA, they are complementary to each other. The both strands which are undergo the simultaneous replication process and produce the two new daughter molecules. Now each one of the newly synthesized DNA has half of parental DNA, that means the half of its parental cell DNA and one that is the original DNA. This is known as the semi-conservative replication, that is half of the original DNA which is conserved in the daughter DNA. So it is known as the semi-conservative process. Replication is the semi-conservative process because half of the original DNA is conserved in the daughter DNA and one half of the new DNA which is formed during the replication process. Initiation of the replication. The initiation of the DNA synthesis occur at the site which is called as the origin of replication. In prokaryotes, only one site, whereas in the eukaryotes there are multiple sites of the origin. This site mostly consists of the short sequence of adenine and the thymine base pair. The specific protein called DNA A binds with the site of origin for the replication. This causes the double-stranded DNA to separate. The initiation replication, where the starting of the replication process, in which the prokaryotes having the only one site of the origin and the eukaryotes has the multiple site of the origin. So this is the reason where the eukaryotes replication process is speedy. A specific protein, that is the called DNA A, which binds with the site of the origin. So the double-stranded DNA, they cause the separation of the strand. Here is the diagram, the site of origin, the prokaryotes, where the only one site of the origin, where the process is started. In the eukaryotes, where the multiple site of the origin, where the replication process has been started. Next, replication bubbles. Two complementary strands of the DNA separate at the site of the replication which forms the DNA. When the replication form the bubbles at the site of the origin, it separates the DNA strand and form the bubble. Multiple replication bubbles in the eukaryotes DNA molecule, which is essential for the replication process. Here is the diagram where the replication of bubble, that is the form. This is the parent DNA molecule. Here is the site of origin where the replication is initiated. Now this site of origin converted into the replication bubbles, and here is the two daughter DNA molecule which is formed during the replication process. RNA primer. In this initiation of the replication, the RNA primer is required. So the synthesis of the new DNA, in the initiation process, a short fragment of the RNA, that is the 5 to 50 nucleotide contains, that is known as the primer. The enzyme primase, specifically that is known as the RNA polymerase, in associate with the single-stranded binding proteins, that is the ASSBP, which forms the complex that is called as a primosome, and that produce the RNA primers. The RNA primer, that is the short fragment of the RNA which contains the 5 to 50 nucleotides which is required for the synthesis of new DNA. The RNA primers comes from the primosomes. This primosome contains the enzyme primase, which is known as the RNA polymerase, and SSBP, that is the single-stranded binding protein, which forms the complex which is known as the primosomes. A constant synthesis and the supply of the RNA primers should occur on the lagging strand of DNA. On the leading strand, only one RNA primer is required. When the replication is initiated, two strands is separated. Is one strand that it is known as the leading strand, and the second strand that is known as the lagging strand. In the lagging strand, the constant synthesis of the DNA, new DNA occur where the supply of the RNA primers that be continuous, and on the leading strand only one RNA primer is required for the initiation of synthesis of new DNA. Next, DNA synthesis is semi-discontinuous and the bidirectional. Why it is known as the semi-discontinuous and the bidirectional? The replication of the DNA occurs in the 5' to 3' direction simultaneously on the both strand of the DNA. The replication direction, the replication of the DNA direction, that is the 5' to 3', which is simultaneously and occurs on the both side of the DNA. Now leading strand, that is the continuous for the forward strand, where the synthesis process of the DNA, that is the continuous, and the lagging strand, that is the discontinuous one, where the DNA synthesis is discontinuous and the short species of the DNA, that means not RNA primers that is required, they are produced on the lagging strand. Replication fork, the separation of the two strands of the parent DNA result in the formation of the replication fork. Active synthesis of the DNA occurs in this region. Most of the DNA synthesis, active DNA synthesis, occur in the replication fork. The replication fork that is moves along with the parent DNA as the daughter DNA molecule they are synthesized continuously. Next enzyme, that is the DNA helicases. DNA helicases bind to the both strand of the DNA strand at the replication fork. This helicase enzyme moves along with the DNA and separate the strand. So the function of the DNA helicase, that is compare with the zip opener. The helicase enzyme, their work which is dependent on the ATP, which gives the energy supply towards the replication process. So DNA helicase enzyme that bind to the strand of the DNA at the replication fork and it separate the DNA while the replication process is continuous. The function of the DNA helicase, that is compared with the zip opener. Next, single stranded binding proteins, SSBP. They are also known as the helix stabilizing protein. SSB protein binding only to the single strand of the DNA. That means when the strand separates, the both single strand, the SSB proteins bind to the both single stranded DNA. They bind cooperatively. The binding of the one molecule of the SSB protein makes it easier of the additional molecule of the SSB to bind tightly to the DNA strand. The SSBP, that is not the enzyme. This will provide the single stranded template which is required by the polymerase enzyme. Also protect the DNA from the nuclease that degrade the single stranded DNA. The single stranded binding proteins, they are the not enzymes. They provide only the single stranded template which is required for the DNA polymerase enzyme and also protect the DNA from the nuclease enzyme which degrade the single strand DNA. Next, direction of the DNA replication. The DNA polymerase enzyme, they are responsible for copying of the DNA templates, are only able to read the parental nucleotides sequences in the 3' to 5' direction and they synthesize the new DNA strand in the 5 prime to 3 prime, that is the antiparallel to the parent DNA direction. See, the DNA polymerase enzyme, they are responsible of the copy the DNA which only able to read with the parental nucleotide sequences towards the 3 prime to 5 prime, and the synthesis replication which is start with the 5 prime to 3 prime direction. The two new synthesized nucleotide chain must grow in the opposite direction. One is the 5 prime to 3 prime direction toward the replication fork, and the one that is the 5 prime to 3 prime direction away. That means the 3 prime to 5 prime the replication fork. The one strand, that is direction of the one strand of the DNA, that is the 5 prime to 3 prime, and the second one, that is 3 prime to 5 prime. Leading strand, the strand that is copied in the direction of the replication fork, that is known as the leading strand, that is the synthesized continuously. The leading strand that is towards the replication fork, that means the new synthesized DNA, that is direction of that is the 5 prime to 3 prime towards the replication fork, and the leading strand that is the synthesized continuously. Whereas the lagging strand that is copied in the direction away from the replication fork, that means away from the 5 prime to 3 prime, that means vice versa, that is the 3 prime to 5 prime of the replication fork, and the synthesis of this new DNA, that is the discontinuous, with the small fragment of the DNA being copied near to the replication fork. Later they are joined together with the enzyme and form the new DNA. These short stretches of the discontinuous DNA, they are known as the Okazaki fragments. They are joined to become a single continuous strand, that is known as the lagging strand. So the leading strand, that is the continuous strand, and the direction of the replication, that is the 5 prime to 3 prime, and the lagging strand, that is the discontinuous one, and the replication direction, that is the 3 prime to 5 prime, and the discontinuous DNA fragments, that is the Okazaki fragment, joined to become a single strand, that is the continuous strand, and the called as lagging strand. Here is the diagram of the DNA replication. This is the original DNA. Here the replication fork, that is the form, and the helicase enzyme, they work as a zip opener. This is the leading strand, and this is lagging strand. In the leading strand there is a continuous replication process. They form the new DNA, and the lagging strand, there are short fragments of the DNA form, and the process, that is the discontinuous one, and the fragments, they are joined together and form the new DNA. The DNA polymerase, they bind with the both strand, they are required for the replication process. DNA polymerase 3, the enzyme, the synthesis of the new DNA strand, which is catalyzed by the DNA polymerase 3. This process occurs in the 5 prime to 3 prime direction. This is the anti-parallel to the parent template DNA strand. As we know, the replication process, that is the continue with the 5 prime to 3 prime direction. The presence of all these 4-deoxyribonucleoside triphosphate, that is the essential prerequisite for the replication to take place. The presence of this is the deoxyribonucleotides triphosphate. They are useful for the replication processes. The synthesis of the two new DNA strands simultaneously take place the opposite direction. One is the 5' to 3' toward the replication fork, which is continuous, the leading strand known as, and the other one that is the away from the replication fork, that is the discontinuous, that is the lagging strand. The incoming dinucleotides are added one after one another to the 3' of the end growing DNA chain. A molecule of the pyrophosphate is removed with the addition of the each nucleotide. The template DNA strand determine the base sequences of the newly synthesized two complementary DNA. The deoxyribonucleotides, that is the adenine, guanine, cytosine and the thymine, they are the added one after one another at the growing chain of the DNA. When this nucleotide added to the chain, the molecule of the pyrophosphate, that is the PPI, that is the removal with the addition of the each nucleotides during the replication process. The template of the DNA strand, they determine the base sequences. That means the parent DNA, they determine the base sequences of the newly synthesized DNA. Chain elongation. Prokaryotic and the eukaryotic DNA polymerase elongate a new DNA strand by adding a deoxyribonucleotide one at a time to the 3' end of growing chain. In the chain elongation process, that means the initiation process, in that phase the DNA polymerase, DNA helicase and the DNA primase, they initiate the DNA synthesis process, DNA replication process. Now in the elongation, that means chain elongate, that means one by one nucleotide, deoxyribonucleotide added to the strand. The sequence of these nucleotides that are added, that is read by the base sequence of the strand, which is incoming nucleotide, they are the paired. The sequences of the nucleotide, they are added in the dictated by the base sequence of the template strand with which incoming nucleotides, they are the paired. That means the parent DNA that contains the base sequence of the adenine deoxyribonucleotide, that is the adenine base. That means in that the opposite new nucleotides, they are added, that is the thymine, that is the AT, and when the guanine, the new nucleotides that is added to the cytosine, so AT and the GC. This process is known as the chain elongation, where the new nucleotides, that is the added to the template strand with which incoming nucleotides, they are the paired one. Okazaki fragments. Small fragments of the discontinuously synthesized DNA, they are known as the Okazaki fragments. These are produced on the lagging strand of the parent DNA. The lagging strand, they contains the Okazaki fragments. These Okazaki fragments later to join to form the continuous strand of the DNA. The polymerase 1 and the DNA ligase responsible for this process. Small fragments of the DNA, they are formed on the lagging strand, that is the Okazaki fragments. The later one, these Okazaki fragments, they are joined with the help of the DNA polymerase 1 and the DNA ligase. They are responsible for the joining of Okazaki fragment and form the continuous strand of the newly DNA, which is the lagging strand. Proofreading technique of the DNA polymerase 3 enzyme. So fidelity of the replication is the most important for the very existence of the organism. Fidelity, that means loyalty. The loyalty of the replication for the genetic information transfer, that is the important for the organisms. So besides the direction of the 5 prime to 3 prime, the DNA polymerase 3 function, that is the proofreading technique. That proofreading technique, that means the polymerase 3 enzyme, it check the incoming nucleotides, allow only the correct match base, that means adenine to thymine, guanine to cytosine, or the thymine to adenine and cytosine to guanine. So base is to added to the growing DNA. DNA polymerase 3 edits these mistakes, remove the wrong placed nucleotides base and correct the base pair. So this is the known as the proofreading technique of the DNA polymerase 3. The proofreading technique, that is the incoming nucleotides, they are the correct one which may match the bases which are to added to growing DNA strand. When the mistakes are there, they edit the mistake and remove the wrongly placed nucleotide base. This is the proofreading function of the DNA. For example, if the template base is cytosine and the enzyme that mistakenly insert the adenine instead of the guanine into the new chain, the 3 prime to 5 prime nuclease enzyme that remove the misplaced nucleotide and place the new template base. 5 prime to 3 prime polymerase replaces it with correct nucleotide containing the guanine. So this is the proofreading technique of the polymerase 3 enzyme. Next, replacement of the RNA primer by DNA. The synthesis of the new DNA strand continue till it is the close proximity to the RNA primer. DNA polymerase 1 enzyme removes the RNA primer and takes its position. The DNA polymerase 1 catalyzes the synthesis 5 prime to 3 prime direction of the fragment, that is the DNA that replaced by the RNA primer. The enzyme DNA ligase catalyzes the formation of the phosphodiester linkage between the synthesis by the DNA polymerase 3 and the small fragments of the DNA produced by the DNA polymerase 1. As we know, DNA ligase, this enzyme that the Okazaki fragments of the DNA, they are joined together with the help of the DNA ligase enzyme. This process needs sealing requires the energy provided by the breakdown of the ATP. DNA polymerase 2 participate in the DNA repair process. The DNA polymerase 3, that is the required for the proofreading technique and the initiation of the DNA processes, replication processes, and the small fragments of the DNA that is produced by the DNA polymerase 1 and DNA polymerase 2 participate in the DNA repair process. Next, replication in the eukaryotes. Replication process in the eukaryotes, in that the replication of the DNA that closely resemble to the prokaryotes, where the certain different enzyme they are seen in the eukaryotes. That is first difference, that is the multiple origin sites, they are in the eukaryotes replication process. So it is the characteristics feature in the eukaryotic cell. And the second one, the 5 DNA polymerase enzyme, they are work in the replication process. In the prokaryotes, the various polymerase enzyme, they are work together, polymerase 1, 2 and the 3. Besides there, the helicase enzyme work for the zip opener, then the ligase enzyme, they seal the Okazaki fragments, the DNA polymerases which are in the eukaryotic replication process, that is the DNA polymerase alpha, that is the responsible for the synthesis of the RNA primer for the both leading and the lagging strand of the DNA, similar to the prokaryotic replication process, leading strand and the lagging strand. The DNA polymerase beta, that is the involved in the repair of the DNA. As we know, in the prokaryotes, the polymerase 2, which is responsible for the repair of the DNA, where in the eukaryotes, the DNA polymerase beta involved in the repair of the DNA. DNA polymerase gamma participate in the replication of the mitochondrial DNA. The gamma, that is the replication of the mitochondrial DNA, they are the participate in that process. Then DNA polymerase delta, that is the responsible for the replication of the leading strand of the DNA, and it has also the proofreading activity. And the DNA polymerase epsilon, that is the DNA synthesis of the lagging strand and the proofreading technique. That means the polymerase delta and polymerase epsilon both having the proofreading technique. The polymerase delta, that is the responsible for the replication of the leading strand, and the DNA polymerase epsilon, that is the responsible for the lagging strand. So these are the enzyme, polymerase enzyme alpha, beta, gamma, delta and the epsilon. They are the responsible for the replication process in eukaryotes. Thank you.